Imagine getting into a vehicle, accelerating to 28,000 kilometers per hour, leaving Earth's orbit behind and watching our entire planet shrink into a glowing blue marble. It sounds like science fiction, but humans have been doing it for more than 60 years. Today we're going to explain everything you need to know about space travel in less than 10 minutes. From how rockets work to how astronauts survive in space, and where humanity might go next. By the end of this video you'll understand one of the greatest achievements in human history. Let's launch. The first challenge is gravity. Gravity is consistently pulling everything towards Earth. If you jump, gravity quickly brings you back down. To escape Earth's gravity, a spacecraft must travel incredibly fast. A rocket needs to reach about 11.2 kilometers per second to completely escape Earth's gravitational pull. That's more than 40,000 kilometers per hour. But why can't we just build a giant aeroplane? Because aeroplanes need air. Their engines work by taking in oxygen from the atmosphere. Space has no air, no oxygen, no atmosphere, nothing. That's why spacecraft use rockets. Rockets carry both fuel and oxygen on board, allowing them to work even in the vacuum of space. The secret behind rockets is actually surprisingly simple. Think about a balloon. When you let go of an inflated balloon, air rushes out one end of the balloon, shoots in the opposite direction. Rockets work the same way. They burn fuel to create hot gases that blast out of the bottom at extremely high speeds. According to Newton's third law, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The gases go down, the rockets go up. Modern rockets are some of the most powerful machines ever built. The Saturn V rocket that carried astronauts to the moon generated over 34 million newtons of thrust. That's enough power to lift thousands of cars at once. And because rockets become lighter as they burn fuel, they often use multiple stages. Once your fuel tank is empty, it's dropped away to reduce weight and increase efficiency. Many people think astronauts are floating because there is no gravity in space. But that's not actually true. Gravity still exists in orbit. In fact, astronauts aboard the International Space Station experience about 90% of Earth's gravity. So why do they float? Because they're constantly falling around Earth. Imagine throwing a ball. The harder you throw it, the further it travels before hitting the ground. Now imagine throwing it so fast as it falls, Earth's surface curves away beneath it. That is orbit. The spacecraft is continuously falling towards Earth but never reaches the ground. That's why astronauts experience weightlessness. They're in a constant state of free fall. Space is one of the most dangerous environments imaginable. There is no breathable air. Temperatures can swing from over 120 degrees Celsius in sunlight to below minus 100 degrees Celsius in darkness. The harmful radiation consistently travels through space. To survive, astronauts must rely on advanced spacecraft and spacesuits. Even sleeping becomes a challenge. Without gravity, astronauts float while they sleep. They often strap themselves into sleeping bags attached to the walls of the spacecraft. Even everyday activities like eating, brushing teeth and exercising require special techniques in microgravity. In 1969, humanity achieved one of its greatest milestones. The Apollo 11 mission landed on the first humans on the moon. After travelling nearly 385,000 kilometers from Earth, astronauts landed on the lunar surface. Millions watched around the world as the first humans stepped onto another world. The mission proved that humans could travel beyond Earth, land somewhere else, and safely return home. Since then, only 12 people have ever walked on the moon, and surprisingly no human has returned since 1972. But that may soon change. Today, space agencies and private companies are preparing for a new era of exploration. Scientists are working on plans to establish permanent bases on the moon. These bases could help us learn how to live on other worlds and serve as launching points for future missions. The next major target is Mars. Mars is roughly 225 million kilometers from Earth on average. A trip like this could take between 6 to 9 months. Future astronauts may spend years away from home, exploring the red planet. Researchers are also developing new techniques, such as reusable rockets, nuclear propulsion systems, advanced life support systems, and artificial habitats. These innovations could make deep space travel faster and safer. Space travel is more than just rockets and astronauts. It's humanity's attempt to answer some of our biggest questions. Where did we come from? Are we alone in this universe? And can we one day live beyond Earth? Every mission teaches us something new. Every launch pushes the limits of what humans can achieve, and the next giant leap may happen sooner than you think. If future generations build cities on the moon or walk on Mars, they'll look back at this era as the beginning of a whole new chapter in human history. Thanks for watching, and remember, the universe is much bigger than we can imagine, and we're only just getting started.